to this festive season special of Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. In the second half of the year, India reels under the festive fervor that showcases the country's diverse culture and heritage. Festivals breathe life into brands, offering them a unique opportunity to connect with consumers and elevate their spirits. This festival period that started in August this year has spanned over the last couple of months, first with Independence Day and Raksha Bandhan, followed by Ganesh Chaturthi and Onam, then Navratri, and now Diwali is upon us. With consumer sentiment at an all-time high, how are brands investing in their festive marketing efforts this festival season? How are they utilizing the festive, marrying an action-packed cricketing season as an opportunity, and what are the key trends there? I'm catching up with industry experts to find out more. Joining us in the studio, we have Denstu's Anita Kotwani, Starcom India's Rathi Gangappa, and Shekhar Banerjee from Wavemaker. And joining us over Zoom, we have Mohit Joshi from Havas Media. So first up, let's begin this conversation with you, Rathi. What is the kind of action in the office over the past couple of months?
Oh, it's been quite action-packed, I must say. And like you rightly said, we've been having a lot of festivities in, preparing for a lot of festivities the last couple of months, and now with Diwali around the corner. We are quite gung-ho. We are seeing a lot of positive sentiments as well from a consumer point of view with clients as well. In fact, we've seen a 40% growth in festive spends vis-a-vis last year. And even looking at the first week of November building up to Diwali, our numbers are already crossed what we did last year during Diwali. So there's a lot of, born homie, there's a lot of excitement looking forward to what Diwali offers for us, not only from a client perspective, but also what we're seeing in terms of the consumer sentiments, etc.
Yeah, so 40% increase in spends by clients. Over to you, Shekhar. Past couple of Diwalis have been remarkable for you with some stellar campaigns that you created for Mondelez. How was this festival? Of course, there was a Mondelez campaign also around this festival that you guys released. But tell us more. What is the action in office?
Oh, honestly, preparation for Diwali is always exciting. It starts way early, and a lot of planning goes behind because it is the event where actually consumers are free to spend, and also advertisers are also very looking forward to leveraging the piece. But however, I had a bit of a different, and we were talking about it before also with Rathi. We had a different opinion on this one because what we saw this festive is a combination of World Cup and the festive, obviously Diwali spending. So a lot of buoyancy that we are seeing in the market is also to do with the World Cup as a event happening during Diwali. If that was moved aside, Diwali might have been an okay Diwali and not a very, very vibrant one, because I think a lot of advertisers are coming from a very low first quarter of 2023. And we have seen huge recovery in Q2. The GDP projections also has been revised. And at the same time, the rural sentiments have also improved, and we are seeing growth coming in. What I feel is there's a lot of pent-up spend which was there, aggregated and being spent right now. And it's a combination of festival and
huge contribution by the World Cup. Anita, finally stability at Denstu. I just had a conversation with Hars a couple of weeks ago. Tell us, how is this festival panning out for Denstu?
So I'll be very honest. I think if I look at the numbers from September to what we are seeing in October in terms of growth, it's like showing me another 15% higher. But at an overall level, I'll second what Shekhar is saying. It's not really been the big festive that you would have otherwise normally seen. And I think with the combination of World Cup and festive coming in together, I think advertiser monies are that much limited, right? So the choice is around saying, am I going to push my investments onto World Cup? And then GC kind of gets compromised because then the fiction shows, etc., which otherwise would have seen a lot of traction during festive, kind of take a beating. So there has to be a balancing act that we've been doing. And I'll be very honest, I think the clients' media investment spends have been relatively tight. So we have to be very prudent to see what's going to give them the ROI and then work around our marketing investment spaces that.
Sure. Mohit, over to you. Diwali has begun on a good note. You just acquired stake in PR Pandit. But apart from that, tell us what is the kind of action seen at Havas Media?
In terms of growth, I would agree that the growth is anywhere between 15 to 20% compared to last year. But if I was to look at it at an overall level, then I'll agree with the last two, speakers. I would say clients are still cautiously optimistic. They are not opening up their purses the way we expected them to. And in my view, it's more because they want to be very careful about how to manage the bottom line. The geopolitical situation has again gone into a spin with the war in Israel, and we are not sure what is there to come in the next 1 or 2 months. Hence, the monies are there, the demand is there, but the advertising is not happening to the extent to which at least we had expected it.
Cautious optimism is what you are saying, Mohit, and also the spends from some of the sectors like edtech, fintech, foodtech have gone down this year. What about the traditional ones? What about, the traditional FMCG and auto?
Yes, so for auto, definitely we see a revival. For the durables and electronics also, there is a revival for sure. Real estate is also seeing some bit of revival. E-commerce, I wouldn't say a revival, because if you were to compare the way they used to be present pre-COVID on print and other medium, definitely that level of visibility is not there. But there is definitely a revival from what it was last year. So I would again say a mixed sentiment, a mixed bag. Better, but good, but could be better.
Yeah, you wanted to add something, Shekhar, and what are some of the key trends also seen when it comes to advertising spends around the festival?
Yeah, exactly. Just to add to what Mohit was saying, there is definitely a pattern. The rural sentiments improving has brought back CPG to spend more, and that we are seeing it very clearly. Auto has been having 2 very good quarters, so it's before festive only. They got the momentum, and they are going with the momentum, and they're at an all-time high right now. So
yeah, also because the past couple of years they were going through supply chain
issues, and so there was a pent-up demand which they are fulfilling, and with the chip supply coming back. So obviously during festive they are able to invest more. And third being consumer durable is a complex one, consumer durable, because they had a very bad season. Full year has been bad. So I think they have aggregated all the possible spends they have, and they're betting very high on festive. So that's basically is becoming the reason why we are seeing this surge coming in.
The other surge is also coming from banking and financials. I mean, you've seen a revival. I mean, if you look at some of our clients like Axis Bank, while during COVID, the pandemic had kind of, they'd all pulled back. They're seeing a resurgence. They're seeing a revival in terms of, putting money out there. And there is reasons behind that. Of course, Axis acquisition, new launches, new brand theme launch, etc. Right? They've launched a new app. So there is a reason behind it, and I think the whole festive plus the World Cup coming together has kind of given them the boost and the platform, to talk about.
So, but coming to your point, Shibani, the established players have obviously started to spend. What always happened year on year, if you look at the way we've moved as an industry, we always had some big sector category to make up. I think this was the first year where we did not see that. So either it was gaming, it was e-com, it was somebody or the other coming in, edtech, fintech, all of those guys. We had some category really coming and giving us a delta pull. With the gaming piece on a 28%, the GST piece that has really come in. So what you've seen is the established guys, the categories that, Mohit spoke about, Shekhar spoke about, BFSI, that Rathi spoke about. They've given us the momentum to try and have some good momentum in the advertising industry. But if you look at the larger startup economy, it's dried up completely. Obviously, there is stress over there. Not enough is happening in that space, which earlier on over the last 3 years showed you a lot of delta. Crypto died its natural death. So a lot of categories that really catapulted the industry and gave us the delta push today is obviously dried up, and hence there's pressure. But it's great that the old established guys are now making up for what the newer guys have not been able to do this year.
Shekhar, interestingly, you also spoke about, the contribution of cricket being around the festival season and gaming, since you mentioned, Anita. Gaming is a sector that would contribute massively to these mega sporting events as well. So with gaming being impacted this year in a big way, what was the impact on, this entire World Cup?
Okay, actually, interesting point. To start with, actually, gaming got impacted because of the taxation law, the way it came in. However, if we understand the integrities of it, what government said is that you don't pay GST only on the commission that you charge to the consumers, but you pay on the total kitty which is there.
Yep.
Which means that it's a one-time adjustment this category will go through.
Yeah.
1 year down the line, it has readjusted the loop. And to be very fair, gaming category, and also I work with some of the clients and leaders in this space. I can very well say that they work with such great margins, upward of 80%, 90%. They can absorb this.
Yeah.
So I don't
but
think
still
so.
the gaming advertising has...
They have, exactly. So what has
gone
happened?
down.
We are seeing an adjustment of 30 to 40%, which they are doing, which is adjusting against the 28%. And it will come back again. In my opinion, actually, this is the best time for the gaming industry to advertise because there will be a lot of consolidation. The big guys will become bigger. The small guys, the run-by-night ones will actually vanish. So it's very important they actually advertise, build their brands, because the stronger brand will attract more money. And the pool is what makes gaming industry and the player stronger. So there cannot be a better time for them to invest back.
On that note, it is time for a short break. You don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to our festival special, and today with some industry experts we are discussing some of the key trends driving festival advertising. Anita, sticking to this entire festival, marrying the World Cup, marrying an exciting World Cup cricketing season, can you tell us what has been the contribution of the World Cup to, the festive advertising?
So I'll be very honest, if I think at an overall level, what we would look at in terms of the monies that actually World Cup will pull in, my estimation will be around 2,500 to 3,500 CR. I don't see it happening more, though you'll hear numbers of 4,500 and upwards, but I'll be very honest. I think a realistic number will be in and around that much. And like I said, if I've moved my advertising dollars into getting my advertisers or my clients to spend more on World Cup, then the choice on the GECs have relatively got compromised because of that. So the kitty remaining the same. There is momentum. It's a great opportunity, but for, let's say, if I was sitting in the Disney Hotstar position, he has a Star Plus to also sell, as well as sports. So he's obviously facing the pressure saying something's going away from there. So cannibalization on spends are happening for them as a network. So I do see that as a challenge.
Yeah. Mohit, at length we discussed how, advertisers are cautiously optimistic. You could have expected larger, higher, much better spends from, these advertisers. But on the other end, we are seeing how consumers, like many reports are in fact hinting towards how consumers are spending more this Diwali as compared to like the past 2-3 years. So tell us, how are then advertisers corresponding to this?
So, there's a very unique phenomena about, the word, this word I learned yesterday in the MAD quiz. It's called web rooming. Now, web rooming means that you are going to the store and you are at the same time checking the stuff there, but you're going online and checking the rates over there. And so there is a very, very hybrid shopping that is happening this year and this was not something that was happening pre-COVID because we were not so online savvy at that point in time. So 55% consumers say that they would shop online and offline both, while 45% say that they'll shop only online. And given the importance of online shopping, a lot of monies are going behind e-commerce advertising. So, we have clients who've put in significant amount of money, is close to about 20-25% of their money is behind e-com advertising. Advertising on the e-com platform. So it's a very unique thing because initially pre-COVID, the entire buzz was on ground, and hence digital was also not so evolved. So it was the television that was ruling the roost and leading with advertising. But now in the new context where digital has already overtaken television in terms of absolute spends last year, we are very different way of spending money for our clients. And that's where I'm saying the importance of e-commerce platforms is coming into play. Online is very critical, and television, because cricket is happening, obviously is important, but not all clients can be around cricket. There is a lot of buzz happening outside cricket, and clients are trying to take the advantage of that. And as Anita was saying, hence, given the monies are limited, the monies that are going behind the regular GCs get reduced. So a lot is happening in terms of the shifts of monies from television to digital to e-commerce, and it's not something that we've seen in the past.
And yeah, some of these e-commerce platforms have their own simultaneous festivals running around the festival season. Rathi, you wanted to add something to
so
Mohit.
in fact, I think for me, when you look at Diwali and the festive season, right? Keep TV, World Cup aside, but for me, marketplaces and e-commerce is the first barometer to tell you that actually how is the consumer sentiment, right? And if you were to talk to any of the marketplaces, they will tell you that they've grown by 2x times. Forget the marketplaces, even Q-commerce, they're talking about 4x growth. Might be a small base, but they're definitely talking about growth. Interesting trends like new categories are using e-commerce to build and sell, the entire shopping experience. Take e-scooters, for instance, right? That entire space, if you look at it, we were studying one for one of our clients, and we looked at the kind of work that they're doing from building a brand to creating a shopping experience and selling on the market space, right? So for me, these are interesting trends that are developing, and it just negates probably what's happening in the gaming space, right? But there are new offshoots coming up, and e-commerce for me is a very good barometer.
Yeah, so and also, this year started with this entire buzz around AI and generative AI. Yeah. So much has been discussed, globally, in India. Shekhar, over to you. How has AI contributed to this festival season?
First of all, my commentary on AI as such, and then I'll let me, Shibani, come to usage of Festive, and please pardon me for being having a very different opinion about this. According to me, most of the AI work that we are seeing, they are not AI. It is artificial. There is a lot of intelligence. The intelligence part is missing. So they are not AI. Let's be very fair about it. We are calling them as AIs, but they are not. Having said so, the solutions which have been built as AI, we are seeing two clear usage of this tech. One is the visible side and another is the invisible side. The visible side is all the creative outputs that we are seeing, some great personalization cases, some of the work, and especially some of the work that we have done, means with Ogilvy for Mondelez and with FCB for Royal Stag. In fact, this festive or World Cup, what we say, we just launched a campaign which is called Billion Videos for Billion Fans for Royal Stag. So this just happened right now. And these are very interesting use cases of how you can use AIs to actually tell stories more powerfully. Then there is the invisible part of the AI part, which is the backbone to a lot of campaign deployments, where how you optimize it better, how you measure better, how you do attributions better, which is running at the back end, making us more efficient. That's where the two big use cases are coming in. But yeah, I don't think so, because Festive is such a small window.
But it wasn't a small window this year, no?
Yeah, it is. While it is true, but generally with the festival changing, the communication that you say also changes. And therefore, you cannot create one big, large one for covering all festivals. That will be injustice to India, to be honest, and the festivities that are there.
Yeah, but having said all of this, have you seen AI disrupt festival advertising and marketing spends, Anita?
So I think optimization is genuinely the new mantra. Like, Shekhar was saying, the entire intelligence that you're today using to figure out how am I optimizing my creative so that it gives me better results? Which is the audience cohort that I'm looking at, where it's showing me, let's say at the bottom of the funnel, vis-a-vis an intent guy, vis-a-vis an awareness guy. How am I pulling that delta shift of my budgets into areas which are working? I think AI is being used very well over there for deployment. So you're able to kind of work on your media dollars a lot higher. And if you have that back end in place, that's great. Look at the other one which we talk about when we talk AI, recommendation engine. You know, if you've seen that red pair of shoes that you've seen online, it's going to follow you throughout, right? So there is some intelligence that is happening with that field. Will you stop sending me that message when I've picked up that red shoe is the question, right? Because you've reached somewhere, but once I've purchased it, you still continue to show me the red shoe, which is the deterrent to the consumer. So the way I would look at it is saying optimization is the new mantra. You're using ROI in a big way to make the marketing dollars work a lot harder. And we've been using that, whether it is through visual search, whether it is voice search, etc. and everything. You're experimenting a lot with AI. You're trying to make use cases within your organizations to see where it's working, where it's not working. It started. Has it blown out of proportion as the new buzzword that everyone's talking about? I'll say it's still nascent. You need a lot of work to get done there.
Final words from all of you on, some of the key takeaways from this festival for the months that will follow. Rathi, let's begin with you.
If you don't mind, I want to dial back to the AI. I don't know if you have the time.
Go
I completely echo with all the three of them in terms of, that it is still nascent. There's a long way to go. But we are treating it a little differently. What we've decided is that it is something to look out for. It is, like Anita said, there is a lot of noteworthy case studies or work that we can do in this space, and we're testing it out. More importantly, we're actually looking at creating doing better with our own business processes. Forget taking it across to the clients first, doing brand work. We're actually looking at how we can better our own processes. So from, again, the same question that you asked, this is something that we are looking forward to going, into the festival as well.
Yeah. Shekhar, key takeaways from the festival going forward?
I think going forward, what is necessary is we always see the blitzkrieg that happens in Festive. It has happened. Advertisers have actually consolidated 2 quarters of budget clearly here to support, basically build on World Cup and also the Festive. It is very important now how we actually sustain the momentum. The green shoots in the economy are perfect for us. Means things are good for India compared to any other country across the world. We are the fastest growing economy, let's put it this way. And it's very important that we sustain the momentum and keep investing in right spaces. So and we are very prudent about the choices we make for our advertisers, so that they see a stable growth. Because stable growth means that there will be investment back into the industry and into the market. So
Anita, over to you. Key takeaways.
So I think from my side, where I look at the festive season, what I would like to look at is where are the trends going to be moving going forward, right? If in this festive, over the pandemic, we saw a complete delta shift to digital, and hence we started seeing a lot more monies moving out. This year, we are going to say digital is going to become the #1 medium, followed by television. So whether it is festive or any other part of, advertising buzz that we do, if you look at the sheer amount of time that's being sent by the consumer, and you follow the consumer to saying you were spending X delta hours on television, now you've moved it to Y on, let's say, digital, and now you've moved it to Z on OTT, the next big one is gaming. Right? Because many people are spending many hours on gaming today. So whether it's festive or, it is, at the end, you're looking at eyeballs of the consumer. And if consumer is moving wherever in his consumer journey, if you are there at the right time with the right messaging and ensuring that you're giving him that touch point activated, I think you will have anyways monies coming in.
But having said that, which medium benefited from this year's festival
I would
season?
say digital.
Digital benefited.
Digital did. I would say it was a TV plus digital combination. I'll be very honest. It's a TV plus digital combination all the way that's worked across most of the advertisers. You've seen print suffer a little bit. Yes, there are a few of those higher pages that are happening these days with the print copies. But the combination that's really worked, I think, for the mantra for this year is TV plus digital.
I think
But
it's a combination
next year,
too.
I think print can recover with elections coming up for the country.
Yes, but will it be more on digital, or are you going to see actually physical print
Yeah,
happening?
that's a good thought.
Yeah.
Before we wrap, final words from you, Mohit.
So, one big trend that I see going forward is connected TV, and which is what Anita also spoke about, digital plus, OTT. And I think that trend has started emerging, and I see that percolating down to the smaller cities as well very soon. It's already started. We've done a study on how India buys, and we've realized that there is a huge amount of awareness around connected TVs and usage of connected TVs even in the smaller cities. It could be on smaller devices, it could be cheaper TVs, but this is a very big trend that I see going forward, becoming significantly big. And the other one is the geopolitical situation and the cautious optimism which is attached to it. I don't see situations getting better anytime soon in terms of the geopolitics. So we have to be very careful on the amount of monies that we are spending for our clients. And ROI is going to be absolutely critical, where even a television spot needs to be justified by the amount of sales that it created. And that's where data analytics, AI will all merge and come together to help us sell our plans to the client.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining us in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Happy Diwali as
and
well.
happy Diwali
Happy
again.
Diwali. With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon. And here is wishing you all a very happy Diwali.